You're listening to 104.8 Channel 4. And yes, we are still here. We're keeping you company on today when we need it most. March 2nd, you're on with Faris all the way until 2 p.m. And one of the big things that gets affected whenever something like this happens anywhere in the world is, of course, education. What do we do with our children? How are they going to continue their learning? Well, I don't have the answers, but somebody who does. I'm here with a principal. Gemma Thornley from the Arbor School is on with us. Hi, Gemma.
Hi, how are you?
Doing very well. I want to ask how you are, on a personal level outside of education. How are you feeling?
That's really kind of you. Yeah, I think I'm probably about the same as everybody else at the moment. Just feeling reassured that I live in a wonderful place where we're being really well looked after by the UAE, the government and the military. So very reassured by that, and also so amazed by the community spirit and how everybody's pulling together in this time. I'm very proud to live in this country.
Yes, we're definitely in a very good position. That's what people who overseas who've been checking on us don't really understand.
Exactly.
The feeling is general calmness, but obviously there's things that need to be done. So what was your weekend like? Because it started on Saturday around noon, and obviously a lot of people trying to figure out what's going on. Generally, you're trying to figure out what's going on specifically. What was Saturday like for you?
I mean, it was very much about being with our teams, our leadership teams at the school, just kind of work out what we do. A lot of it was waiting for information, which did come very quickly. We did prepare. All the schools prepared immediately for the likelihood that we may go online. Obviously, we're very versed with that here in the UAE. So we're very lucky. We're in a group of principals here that all work very closely together. So we were taking advice and guidance from each other. And then obviously when all of the official guidance came through from the MOE and the KHDA, we were ready to switch. And then yesterday was very much about working with our teams. All the staff in all the schools were working tirelessly yesterday to make sure that we could make that switch to remote learning today. And whatever way that looked like, whether it was asynchronous or synchronous learning online. And I think now it's very much what time is it now? It's like 11:20 and we're a few hours in. We are just kind of monitoring, having a look at what we need to do, making changes, listening to the community around us, listening to parents, and just kind of all working together just to make sure that the children are supported. For us, and I think all the schools are the same, this week's not about curriculum coverage. It's not about, teaching and learning. It's about care, calm and connection. And I think calm is the actual key word in all of this, making sure that we are not racing through curriculum. We're not worrying about grades. It's about providing children with routine, that reassurance, that sense of safety, because we know that learning only can happen when children feel secure, and at the moment that's our priority, making sure our children are secure, making sure our staff are secure, and making sure that our families are supported.
And how, because I was going to say the seamless transition to remote learning, we learned a lot of lessons from COVID, so the systems were already in place. At this time of the day, it's the first day back at school, and we're approaching noon now. How are the kids handling remote learning? Do they seem chill, or are you finding a lot of teachers needing to almost make them feel better on the remote learning classes?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think what we're looking for at the moment with them is we're kind of trying to create that routine, that opportunity to check in with their teachers. We are in the primary school, as an example. We're not running live lessons. We're setting work that's there for them, but also the staff are online to be able to check in with them from a pastoral perspective. In the secondary school, it's a little bit different. So if the children want to have some live interaction with their teachers, then we're offering that routine to them. But as I say, it completely is dependent. I think one of the big differences from COVID is we're obviously looking outside and looking up to the sky and making sure that we're not having a background noise behind us when we're teaching at the moment. So taking the call kind of like minute by minute, hour by hour to how we actually approach the learning. But we are just making sure we are present and we are there for them. We're setting work for them. We're not pressuring them to do that work, but some of our children are really relishing the routine and the opportunity for that connection with their peers and with their teachers. Some of them are not, and they're wanting to be with their families. And we are basically saying to families, we're taking our lead from you of how you want to manage that, but equally as well, we are here for you if you need us.
Absolutely. I mean, I was in the after we got we all got the very big announcement on our phones when the phone alarms went off. A lot of the neighbors decided to go down into the building basement, and there was some children there, and they broke my heart. They were so scared. First time going through something like this, so I think it is good to have that routine because they can already tell that there's something wrong with mommy and daddy. They can already tell that there's something not right. So as close to a routine that they're used to we can stick to, I think is going to make them feel like everything is okay.
Absolutely. And we're saying as well, like key advice is don't overshare with them. They're listening to the adults' conversations. And obviously we're all, scared and wondering what's coming next. But we're saying, don't catastrophize and follow their questions rather than lead them. And I think that's the big piece of advice in that we're giving out is that, see what the children ask you rather than kind of leading them to something. Keeping our tone calm with them and also limiting that exposure to kind of adult news cycles is really imperative at the moment that we're doing this. Children will take their emotional cues from adults. And we're saying that if we're steady, they're steadier. They're very resilient, our children. I think we kind of underestimate sometimes, but, just keeping them close and just, taking our cues from them is really important.
Absolutely. Well, before we end, I do want to ask about specific information. So we know that it's remote learning now. Can you tell me any information you can give, at least specific to the Arbor School, for example, of how long remote learning is definitely going to stay and how often we're monitoring and how long remote learning could possibly go on till, depending on KHDA regulations?
I mean, at the moment, we've been told to prepare till Wednesday, which we've done. We don't know anything more further than that. But obviously, if we did need to continue, we are all ready to do that. We're also ready and really excited to welcome everybody back to school. And I think that's all we can do at the moment is just keep listening to the authorities, not listening to rumour, making sure that we're, following what we're being told to do, which is exactly what we're doing. We're getting amazing advice and guidance, and we will just continue to do that until we are told to make switches.
Well, I have to ask, specific to the Arbor School, for anyone that doesn't know, they have greenhouses and wildlife. Are the lizards and tortoises being taken care of? Are they all right?
That is a fantastic question. And you know what? When we were doing our plans on Saturday, yes, we were planning for the children, but we had to plan for the animals as well. They are being really well looked after. Our security team are checking in with them, and we just make sure that is happening. But they are Darwin, the tortoise, is being really well cared for. And thank you for asking that. That was really kind.
Gemma, thank you so much for coming on. Stay safe. Thank you so much for the work you're doing. And we may catch up with you again, depending on how things go. Hopefully we don't. But for now, make the best of it and have a great rest of your Monday.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Take care.
Bye-bye.